It's Atlanta's #1 hip hop station, Hot 107.9. Reece right here, locked in with you, man. Hopefully at the end of this, I got a new friend of the show. Let me get this man the biggest intro of all time. I'm gonna try to pull this off real quick, man. The creator of the quadruple entendre is in the building. He's on the Mount Rushmore of hip hop ballads.
Yeah.
The master of the wave game, everything wave. You know what I'm saying? He's found the youth somehow. If you count the first freestyle on Clue, he's 21 years in the game. He's never chased the wave, but he's done it Loso's way. I got FABOLOUS in the building. The second most famous Jackson in the music business is in here right now. Fabulous, what's popping, homie?
I need that intro. I need that whole word for word intro right there. Like I'm everywhere I go, I'm making somebody announce me like that.
That's
with
what
the
you
Michael
need.
Buffer. And now, like, you know what I mean? I need that. I need all of that though. But thank you, my brother. You know, it's a pleasure being here and checking in with you this morning.
No doubt, man. It's actually my pleasure, man. Like I said, I'm not, there's no cab, no playing. You know what I'm saying? We've been a fan of the music and the movement for a long time.
Thank you, bro.
You know what I mean? It's just my pleasure to have you in the building, man. Because like
yeah.
I said, you never chase the wave, and it's always like you were able to work with different artists. You're able to do your own thing, but it never like felt forced.
Right. And that's what my goal was too. Like, even in collaborations, just good genuine energy, good genuine vibes. You know what I mean? Like even with the last project I put out, Summertime Shootout 3.
Right.
It's
You
a lot
see
of
the shirt,
features
right?
there. Yeah. Oh yeah.
This is my double entendre right here.
Yeah.
Got the
I
shootout
saw
and
it
the jersey.
I saw it on the walk-in.
Right. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, but I just wanted it to be like genuine vibes and genuine energy. I
Right.
think that's where you get the best music, and it also makes the relationship better. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
it's not like you just calling somebody and you just want a record and then you never hear from them again. Like
Right.
when you kick it with somebody and y'all
You
get
vibe
in the
and you
studio,
catch that
it's a
vibe
genuine
and yeah.
vibe, you know what I'm saying? And that's how I like most of everything that I do, but especially in music.
I love that, man. I think that's how this sounds like. That's how those records that you got some timeless classics. When I talk about them hip hop ballads, bruh,
Yeah.
like you link with people and y'all just make it pop.
Yeah,
know what I mean?
I love collaboration. Period. I like where I'm bringing what I do, and they bring what they do,
Right.
and we mesh that together and try to make something even better. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So it's organic, it's genuine, and as long as the music come out feeling that way, it's always a great collaboration.
Love that, man. That's that hip hop gumbo right there, man. We kicking it right there with the legendary. That name gets thrown around, but 21 years in the game, hella records sold. Always have classics on the radio. You could leave and come back anytime you want. It seems like we gotta put that legend stamp on that, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you, man. There's been a lot of talk about Legend this week. You know what I'm saying? I seen something online of, they was talking about Nip. And
Yeah.
Was Nipsey a legend? And, you know what I mean? I think, even that word legend is it has many different definitions.
I believe that
and
too.
different ways that you can be a legend.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like when they was saying it with Dude and I was like, well, it's not just about record sales or
Right.
you know what I mean?
It's about
Legendary
impact. It's
status
about
could be
yeah.
about- it could be about your impact.
Right.
It could
And
be about
influence.
the lifestyle that you led to be where you are. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So it's different ways to be a legend. You know what I'm saying? You would look at certain people who are legend where they never sold any records. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
Just their stature, just what they've done for the culture.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And I think that's why it's many definitions. What would you say? Not to put the interview on your side,
Right.
but what would you say makes somebody a legend?
I would just say the impact and influence has to be one. I remember I heard an interview you was talking about the ballads. For example, you was like, I gotta give it to LL because he was the first person to do it.
Right.
In the mainstream, you know what I mean, to make
Right.
it cool to have a hip hop song that's kind of moist. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's my word, pause.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Hip hop song that's kind of moist, that's a legendary to me. You know what I mean? So to me, I think that's what it is. So when I relay that moniker on you, I'm saying it because you've had such an impact.
Thank you, bro.
Like, yeah, man. And man, well, let's talk about Summertime Shootout 3. I got a lot I want to talk about. But Summertime Shootout 3, I was a little upset with you. I couldn't get past Back on My Bull. Like I couldn't get past it. It was a lot of wordplay in there, bruh.
You might have to hit that one back and catch it. That's mixtape Fab, right?
Yeah.
there. You know what I'm saying? There's a couple different Fabs.
This is a
hip-hop
double
ballad
album.
Fab,
We'll
there's
talk about that too.
Mixtape Fab. There's radio Fab. There's you know what I mean. But that one, that's a mixtape. So that joint you might have to rewind a little bit.
That took me back to Desert Storm days, like a lot of
Yeah.
bombs being dropped, Clue screaming. I got to rewind to catch your words because Clue screaming on the record.
Right.
Like, I like that,
Right,
man.
right.
Bomb. See, even the word and then the beat and then what you were saying, that's that quadruple entendre I'm talking about.
yeah.
Guinness Book of World Records, if y'all are listening, listen to Bomb, all right? Back on my bull. And then they got to put you in there somewhere, man.
I gotta get, you know what I mean? I like that. That's one of my challenges of being an MC. You know what I'm saying? Just being able to say things in different ways and say it a little slicker than the average way. Saying it a way where people have to think or a way that they might have not caught it the first time. All of that, like, you know, that's my challenge too.
Right.
Because, you know, I guess doing it so long too that if you just was doing it the simple way, like it might get too, it might, you know what I mean?
Mundane. You really
get
challenging
mundane to
yourself,
you need
yeah.
something else to, you know what I mean? But when I'm doing like, you know, entendres or metaphors, like
Right.
it's always a new way to say it. It's
Right.
always a new way to do it or a new catch or, you know what I mean? And that's kind of like a challenge for me and keep me inspired as well.
I love it because a lot of times you got to listen to the bar before and 2 bars after to tie everything together. You be like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
So I love it, man. We kicking it right now with Fab, man. Your boy Reece right here in the city, man. And listen, this album, it seemed like a double album. You know, if this was the CD press days, it seemed like a double album because you had like your mixtape Fab, then you had the bars, and you got the collabs, and then you got those ballad records. You got Chris Brown, Tiana Taylor. I don't know how you did that. You got both of them on the same song. You got Jacquees. You know what I'm saying? You've got a lot of
dancing in that
yeah,
video
bro.
Them two. Like, you know what I mean?
That's
I
what
might
I'm
have to
saying.
step to the side and let them have a
dance battle.
Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, I think, you know, even like I said, I wanted it also to coming from a mixtape series, this was the final installment of that mixtape series. But I think playlists became the new mixtapes of this era.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So I wanted it to have that playlist kind of feel where it was like
you catch a
you know,
vibe and then you can
catch your
move to
vibes
another
and,
one.
and push it together and sonically let it vibe. So you know when you make a playlist, that's how you vibe into it. It's a couple different songs from all over the place, but it's your vibes. You know what I mean? So that's the mind state I went in with, like, you know, doing this project to feel like a playlist a little bit.
Right, man. A lot of people that you do records with, it sounds like y'all should have been doing music together. That one with Meek, it felt like y'all really caught one. Was y'all in the studio together on that? Because that's what it felt like.
Definitely. We actually recorded that in the same time we did like Uptown Vibe.
Okay, because that was a vibe, bro. That was my jump for a minute.
It was a lot going on in that session too.
Yeah,
it was
tell me about
really
it.
rocking on the table and everybody dancing, a couple twerks and you know what I mean. So the music organically came from just the energy in the room. You know what I'm saying? A lot of, you know, I think that's not highlighted a lot in these days anymore. Like just the energy in the studio. You know what I mean? Because now people are creating in so many different ways. Some people are just in their living room with a laptop in front of them making songs. But you know, the energy in the studio also was always a thing that could inspire good music. You know what I mean? And that session, those sessions from that time is what, you know, created Uptown Vibes and Talk to Me Nicely.
Right.
And, you know what I mean? It kind of took me back to that place.
I was hoping for another another collab album with you, like the one you did with Kiss, man. I was hoping for you or Meek to do, because it sounds so organic.
Yeah,
and then when I heard
that wouldn't be bad, man.
I don't think
You know
that
what I mean?
I don't want any credit. Just be like, yo, he the dude, the bald headed dude in Atlanta. He was like, we should do this. That's all I need.
Yeah, all right. You're gonna be like, you're gonna take your hat off right there. Like you heard him say the bald head dude from Atlanta.
It's me, right? You know what I mean? We kicking it with Fab right now. We talking about Summertime Shootout 3, man. What was like one of the ones that you just knew on this record? Like you just knew as soon as you heard it, like, oh, I gotta do this one.
I would say Too Late. The last joint with Jeremiah.
Right.
It actually started out in a different direction because his hook, you know, was saying too late, but it was saying something a little bit more, I guess, sexual.
Yeah.
But when I heard it, I said, I hear something else in this music and the feeling of this hook. And I took it and talked about, you know, my situation. I put my kids on the record.
I love that, bro.
You know
I love that,
like I felt a different energy from it. You know what I'm saying? So we kind of like took the part out of the hook that he was, you know, that he went left a little bit.
Right.
And, you know, we kept it in my direction, and it was something that I wanted to speak on. And just that was one of the, like, you know, cuts that I felt like I also put together. Like like I said, I took it from being one thing and said, let me fit it to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What I want to speak on and what I'm about. And
I love how you address it too, because it's like, why would anybody ask you about it? Just go listen to the record. Like,
right.
you addressed it perfectly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got your family on there.
Yeah.
The kid. I don't know how you got your youngest son to say something.
Yeah.
I got to drop with my kids. And my youngest daughter, she won't talk when she comes up here.
One part about it, I try to do it organically at first. Like, I try to, like, I would be around them and ask them something and just be taping with my phone.
Right.
But it wasn't working. It was
right.
like they was
I
just
feel your
saying
pain,
like
brother.
stuff like that wouldn't work for the record. So
right.
I eventually had to say, you know what? I need you guys to go
right.
in there. And the baby, I just got him like, you know,
to say something.
You know what I mean? And then I was able to use it. But it's also something to me that meant a lot because, like you said, your children are gonna get older.
Right.
You know, your music always lives forever.
Yeah.
And you know, they're gonna be able to always hear that and hear their perspective as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I love just incorporating them into that. I hadn't did that a lot throughout my career, so it was this was a time that I felt like it was needed. You know
right. I feel like through your career you did a great job of just kind of separating like you from the music, but it seemed like it wasn't never a stretch with you doing the music. It felt like, oh, that's dude, that's him, that's all him, but you wasn't really, you know what I'm saying, too far, giving people too much.
It's actually changed in time, a little bit of time too. At the beginning of my career, you know, it was more mystique to me because you kept things separate. And
right.
But as things became more social and social media and the social skate, now your family and stuff is in people's face as well. So, you know what I mean? It's like
it's part of your brand, right?
It gets that's another thing. It becomes part of your brand, but it's also just harder to like separate the two.
Right, right.
So it kind of runs concurrent, and you know, it's also growing now as a man. It's a part of your everyday life a little bit more. You start having children. At the beginning of my career, I didn't have no kids. You know what I'm saying? Or even my relationship was in a very young state, so it wasn't even that much to talk. But now, you know, after all of this time, you having kids, you know, that's a part of your everyday life. You know what I'm saying? So, and you know, you share it in the music, you share it, you see it on social media, you see it when you moving around. You know what I'm saying? So, I think it was part of, you know, the game opening up to that too, because in the beginning, you know, you didn't see nobody's wives or, you know, kids.
Right. You didn't even know who's married or had kids or whatever.
Ja Rule was married, like, you know what I mean? Things was, you know, everybody was just an artist. And now it's opened up. So, you know, I think it's definitely only right to include and you know, share certain things. But you still have to keep certain things for yourself. You still have to keep a privacy, a certain level of privacy, and you also have to worry about because sometimes your family don't want to be in. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
There's certain people who don't want that attention. You know what I'm saying? So you also have to be mindful of that as well.
I can imagine, bro, because I'm like nowhere near the status that you are. But sometimes my kids be like, people be asking me for stuff because they know you work at a radio station. I can imagine how that could be like. You got to play that game. You know what I mean?
Even them going to school.
Right.
You know, people knowing who their parents are.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's a different upbringing. So you know what I mean? You got to be careful of that, and that's why I'm also, you know, protective of that too. Like not even just being careful of it, but like protecting it too, because they still need to be able to be kids, need to be able to have some, you know, normalcy to their life as well. You know what I mean? And some of that gets taken away from them without them.
Some of that innocence too.
Right. You know what I mean?
Right, we kicking it with Fab. We talking about family stuff right now, man. We gonna get back to this music too, but a lot of the stuff that you are saying and portraying in these records, bro, like you got some lines. Like, what was one line from any of the songs that you was like, ooh, I really just put that together? Cause I know the joint where you was talking about I can't remember the exact line, but you was talking about the chicks, where the chicks like she gonna try to curve me, but like, come on, man, like it was crazy.
Yeah, I think one thing I do is try to shed light on certain perspectives that I'm thinking or what other people are thinking.
Right.
That's another thing about being on social media. You see a lot of people's opinions and what they thinking as well, you know, whether they memes, whether they captions, whether they, you know, whatever it is, even the comments under your pictures.
Right.
So, you know, I try to touch on that. One of the lines I even going back to the Too Late song, one of the lines I say is real love don't fade, real friends don't shade. You know what I'm saying? And that was coming from a place of like how I like, you know, how I felt. You know what I'm saying? And,
I think Frenemies, you got real in depth on those songs like that
was
too.
another one. You know what I'm saying? you know, even down to Cold Summer, the intro,
Yeah.
you know, just saying how they was giving Mika L, said he wouldn't prevail. Next thing you know, that boy was in the championships. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it was like they was counting him out because, you know, the whole situation with the Drake beat,
Right.
and, you know, he had broke up with Nicki
Right.
and different little things like that. And then he had to just get in his zone, get in his bag.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And got
come
there.
out with the album.
Right.
And now all of the, you know, now all of the doubt, everybody again, like, you know, they
Yeah.
were supporting you the
Right.
whole
They
time. You know what I
they've
mean?
been there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. I
It's
definitely
part of the
get it.
game, though. You know what I'm saying? It's part of, you know, your story. You know what I mean? Whether it's a
Right.
comeback story or you just kept going, it's part of the story. So, you know, never get discouraged by it and say, you know, everybody wasn't there for me, and it make you go
Yeah.
down. When everybody ain't there for you, all right,
Yeah.
it's time for me to be there for myself.
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
you seem to do a great job of that. You also seem to do a great job of just like bigging up other artists, man. I see on your page you post other artists. They
Yeah.
drop albums and stuff. They might not be label mates. It just might be something you like, man.
Definitely.
It just
But
makes
it's
you
mostly mutual, like people that I
rock with.
cool that
Yeah.
I'm cool with and rock with. You know, if they celebrate a project, like want to see your friend
Win.
win.
Yeah.
That's it. You
That's
know what I
what's
mean? I
up.
want to see you succeed. I want to see you do your thing. So, you know, you dropped the project. Congratulations. You know what I'm saying? And I actually check it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I ain't even like some people just throw your shit
Yeah,
up. And,
they
you know what I mean?
listen
Like,
to it first. Make sure.
I want to check it out. So that way, if I want to drop something about a certain song in there,
Right.
like, you know what I mean? I
Right.
give all of that energy. So, you know what I mean? I don't think that, I don't even look at it as deep as people even like, yo, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's really cool that you know, that
Nah,
you
you
do,
just
like, I
being
look
you,
at it
you
as
just
like,
doing
I'm
your
just,
thing.
just showing love and
Yeah.
congratulating and keep it pushing, really. Like,
That's
you know
what's
what I mean?
up. I'm like that stuff like that. It works for me too. Like I'm glad you dropped the music. Now you here with me because I really listened to the album. Like I
Word.
told you, I was mad because I couldn't get past Bomb. Like I
Yeah.
couldn't get past it.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, this Jones is crazy. I had to
Yeah.
run it back like this. Okay, this is what we missing. You know what I'm saying?
Did you know where that sample was from?
Yeah, the Bulls. Come on, bro. Like back on my Bull, using 96 Bulls. That was the greatest team of all basketball in the 90s.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Come on. Then you got the wordplay. You talking about the players. Like it's crazy, bro. Then you had the line about the Greek freak. Come on, man, getting the big bucks. It's great. Like, yeah, it's your fault. I can't get past it.
Nah, that joint, you know, that was something that when I was growing up, you know, like you said, the Bulls was the squad.
Yeah.
That was a squad, and like, you know, I always had that in my head and always remembered it, and I was just like, yo, man. I at one point I thought about doing it, but I thought it was too hard to clear, or like, you know what I mean? Because it was how big it was, and I was just like, eh. But then we just came around to it, and we got to it, and it worked out. So, you know what I mean? And I just love also that it's a relatable sample that people gonna hear and take them back.
Yeah, exactly. It's some that good nostalgia. You know what I'm saying? It's like you gonna get Fab, you gonna get this. We gonna remember the mixtape days, and man, it's crazy. Man, talk about this album, well mixtape. You know what I'm saying? Series. It like you said earlier, it's like a playlist. But what's on Fab's playlist? Like, what do you listen to?
I listen to. I tap into some like different moods. So like I'll tap into like a 2000s vibe.
Okay.
Where, you know, I feel like the music, you know, the 90s are always saluted for what it was, and it was a golden era of hip hop, but I also feel like the 2000s.
That's when a lot of money was getting thrown around.
It boomed. You know what I mean? We had a lot of records that really were big records.
Huge records,
energized to what is going on now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is the second half of the 2000s that, you know, from 2000 to 2010, and then now this 2010 to 2020.
Right.
And I think, you know, a lot of what was going on in those early 2000s sparked to where we at today.
Yeah.
And so I'll catch that vibe. Of course, I love my 90s vibes too, because that takes me back to when I was like a teenager growing up.
Kind of what inspired you listening.
What kind of rooted me. And then I also vibe with, you know, what's going on now. You know what I'm saying? I got an 11-year-old son. Like, he'll be next to me.
I feel like he A&R some of this album. I feel like he did.
He definitely be like, you know, even the last project when I did the joint with Uzi, he was like, yeah, that was a good one.
You got some cool points?
That. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, he's told me this year. He was like, yeah, I think you need to do one with Trippie Redd, man. And it's like, you know what I mean? So I you know, he's 11, so that also, his opinion means a lot to me too, because he's representing the young hip hop. You know what I mean? That growing energy that's in hip hop. You know, how they always say, you know, they always say hip hop is a young game, but I believe now it's broadened. It's young and it's old.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's been around so long. So we grew up on hip hop. They're growing up on hip hop. The next generation under him will be growing up.
This is like the only era I think that you could have a parent and a kid listen to the same genre. Yeah, and wearing the same clothes though.
Yeah, that's we were one of the first generations of that. You know what I mean? Before us, our parents, there was a disconnect in what they thought was cool and what music they listened to. They turn that hip hop, listening to that. It's too much cursing for them. It was whereas now we've grown into a generation now. We the parents and we listening to the same music. We might even, you know, I took my son to a Travis Scott concert. He wanted to go to Travis. I know the Travis Scott music. I know, you know me. I know him as well. So it was like, all right, let's go.
And when you could go backstage, you get extra cool points with the kids, bro.
Yeah.
Like I get it.
I take my cool hat off. I take the Fab hat off when I'm in that situation. My son, like, you know, he loves to go to the All-Star game. I take pictures of him with the athletes, with the ball players, and you know what I mean. It's like I always just let him have his moments. That's another thing too. Like, you know, to keep his normalcy. Like I don't want to be like, yo, I can't take a picture of, you know.
Yeah.
I'll do whatever.
That's dope that you can separate it like that, bro. Like being it, like I said, everybody knows you. Everybody knows you as a legend. Mm-hmm. Athletes and hip hop kind of like mesh together, and for you to be able to bridge that gap, and then take yourself out of it for your son, bro. That's beautiful, man. For the kids in the family, period. That's beautiful, man. What's like the biggest, like the most, I guess, for this year, maybe what was like the dopest thing for the family, for the kids, for you? Because I just want to like big up that you a father, you black, you know what I'm saying? Like you doing a family thing, and that's one thing I really like to pinpoint.
One of the biggest things, man, is just really reconnecting and tapping into home and family. Like, you know what I'm saying? I've done a lot of things throughout my career. I've done a lot of things, you know, musically that, you know, I'm proud of. But that's one of my, you know, proudest moments too. Is just, like even down to doing things for my son and letting him grow into the man that he's gonna be. You know what I mean? That's, you know, at the age he is now, he's still a young boy, but I feel like you planting the seeds for what, you know what I mean? Even just teaching him things and letting him see, you know, family structure, see, you know, working through whatever is going on.
I'm glad you said a lot of us didn't see that.
Right, you know what I mean? And especially even around and what's in social, you see that kids are impressionable. So they whatever they see too, you know, how they see people acting with each other, how they see people acting on the internet, you know, but I love that he's getting to see certain things home that's, you know, helping him develop as well.
Right.
And that was one of my proudest things of this year.
That's dope. I see them rushing me out, man. I only get Fab like once in a lifetime interview, so I gotta ask all my questions. But
on point, bro.
I appreciate it, man. But I'm gonna get to this. What would you go back if you go back to 1998 after that Clue freestyle, right? You right now, what would you say to that Fab walking out of that studio?
I would say keep thinking like you were at that time. I was thinking. Put my most into it. Put the most you can into this opportunity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't know when I would get an opportunity like that. I wasn't used to getting an opportunity like that.
Yeah.
So
and you was up there with Nori. It was a lot.
Yeah.
'Cause I know that was a lot going on for you at that age.
One time, I think I rapped. The second time, I just went.
Yeah.
They didn't even
you
tell
jumped
me.
in,
you know what I'm saying? Like Nori stopped rapping.
I could tell. I could tell like how you and
like,
the energy was a little bit more like I gotta shoot my shot.
I was like, this is a shot. This is my shot, and I'm gonna shoot it. You know what I mean? I had a lesson like that with my son where we went to the All-Star game in New York one year, and we was sitting on the floor, and you know when they came out at halftime, we was, you know, shooting around, I guess like a warm-up kind of thing.
Right.
And Steph Curry threw the ball at my son and was like, you know, take a shot or whatever like that. My son was like, nah. So I'm like, yo, you know what I mean? I'm thinking he playing, but I'm like, yo, go take a shot. He like, nah. So you dribble the ball around, throw it back to Steph. So, you know, after it, I'm like, yo, why you ain't take a shot at halftime, man? That's a shot. I'm there with my phone ready to get the moment. He throwing the moment away. So he was like, you know, I didn't want to, Papa, I ain't want to miss. You know what I'm saying? I ain't want to miss in front of all them people. I was like, man, how you know you was going to miss?
Right.
I said, you don't know you're going to miss until you take a shot. I said, it's 50-50. You can miss or you can make it. And I said, I said, right? He's like, yeah, all right, He said, all right, next time. I said, when the next time you gonna get a chance to shoot with Steph Curry?
Right.
He said, I don't know. I said, exactly. And that's the lesson in it. Like, you don't know when the next time you're going to get a chance to, whether you're going to miss or make it. You don't even know when you're going to get the opportunity to take that shot again.
Love that.
So I, like, made that lesson. And he sat there. He was like, yo, yeah, all right, I get what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, don't be afraid of opportunity. Take the opportunities, make the most, do the most that you can. Shoot that shot. You know what I'm saying? If you make it, you're going to feel good. If you miss it, you can still say, yo, I got to shoot with Steph Curry.
Come on, that's the story.
And you made the most of it. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing I would tell, scrolling all the way back. That's what I would tell my young self. You know what I'm saying? Keep making the most of your opportunities, man. You're on the right path.
I love it, man. Fab, we appreciate you, bro.
Love, man.
Appreciate the music, for real.
Man.
Appreciate everything, man.
Peace,
there it
man.
is. And
Thank
that sounds like part of the book, man.
Yeah.
Don't waste some opportunities.
Yeah. That's a opportunity is a thing, man. It's one of the greatest things you could give somebody too. You know what I'm saying? You give somebody an opportunity to a lot of people come up to you and say they want to do this and they want to do that, and you give them an opportunity to do it. Now it's on you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's all you after that.
There it is, man. Fab, I appreciate you once again, man. It's
Always.
Hot 107.9. We gone.